So Rahim has been one of our long-term members of our Triangle, North Carolina user group. And so even though he's actually in Calgary, he's been part of the spirit and part of the debates and part of the community and part of the discussions we've had going on for years. And he's actually a long-term now, I guess, a multi-year user of thinkorswim, and he's really has a habit of really trying to nail down points. We've had a lot of debates, a lot of discussions in our forums about which is the best platform, which is the best broker, and about major strategies as well. Which strategies work, which strategies do not work. And he's been a very keen part of that. So he's got the right approach to trading, and he's developed some expertise in thinkorswim as well as the other platforms that are popular, including Interactive Brokers and Tasty Trade. And he has answers. I think he'll be able to answer your questions as well as go through a tour of the major features that you could use as you become a more sophisticated user of thinkorswim. And so I'll pass it over to Rahim.
Thank you, Don. So just some background about myself. So I am a mechanical engineer. That's what I studied at university. Currently, I've been working full-time with the provincial government in Alberta building schools. So I am a project manager with them. So I kind of learned about options late October 2016. I had some money. I went to a few meetup groups and just found out there's an options meetup group, and I went there. And they kind of taught me high level what options are, and I was just fascinated by the math base of options and how you can take any direction you want. You can trade like bearish or neutral, kind of make money off theta decay, kind of the stats and stuff, and that just kind of fascinated me. So pretty much I opened up a thinkorswim account in January of 2017, and I've been trading options since then. Because I do work full time. Before I was mostly trading like in the morning. So living in Alberta, the market opens for me at 7:30. So I do have kind of half an hour before the market, before I go to work to kind of trade. And then recently, I kind of went away from the Tasty Trade option of way of trading and kind of more to John Lochtey's way. So I've been trading more at lunchtime, kind of 1 hour before market close and stuff. So I'll just share my screen and then I can walk you through TOS. I know some of you are familiar with it, some are new, but I'm sure after the end of this session, everyone will kind of learn a few different things they didn't know about it. So I'll just share my screen. You guys can see my TOS platform here.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. And yeah, as Don mentioned, I'll be losing my thinkorswim account pretty soon. So he did set me up with access to his IRA just so we could give this talk to the group. So I guess the first few things, when you log in, this is kind of the main screen you'll see. It does have your account information on here. Just for privacy, if you're sharing your account with someone or taking screenshots, if you want to disable the balances, if you click here, there's a privacy mode here. So when you click that, it kind of closes off your balances and stuff. Option buying power, and that's kind of straightforward. And because this is an IRA account, some of these balances and stuff would look different on yours, obviously. Net lick, for those who don't know, basically if you liquidate all your opening positions, anything you have opened, that is kind of your account balance once everything's kind of closed. So if you have a bunch of cash sitting in your account, a bunch of open positions, if you want to see the value of your account, you'd look at this net lick value. So I'll just close this for a second. To set up new watch list, stuff like that, you would click on here. So this plus icon. Can you guys see my pointer too on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So to set up a new watch list, you'd click on here. This is kind of a default. So Tasty Trade, thinkorswim does have a bunch of public watch lists which you can kind of select from. And if you want to make your own, I'll just make a new one. If you click on this create watch list, you can just make a brand new one. Okay, so that is the new watch list. And I guess if a few of you can just kind of give me some symbols I can add on here just for now. Maybe some with earnings coming up. I know Apple has earnings coming up soon. I think Amazon also. Is there a
Maybe
few more?
NVIDIA, NVDA.
Yeah, okay. Anything else?
AMD.
AMD, okay. And maybe you can do the Qs. If you do want to add futures, I believe it is ES. So that is the S&P futures here. The one, this is currency, like this is a Canadian dollar against the US. Oil is CL. So usually how I like setting up is I'll have a few different watch lists, like some for the futures here and then watch list for actual stocks I trade and stuff. If you want to see different things here, right now I have last net change bid ask. You just click on this little gear here, customize. Usually people don't like bid ask, so you can remove those. You can add percent change in here if you're trading options. For those who like Tasty Trade, I know IB rank is a big one for you guys. I can show you. So in TOS, it's called IB percentile, so you can add that one on there. If you want to look at maybe stock volume. So there's lots of different things you can add on your watch list. So this is just a sample, but you can add whatever you want. If you do want to sort it by IB rank, for example, you just click on here and it shows you the highest to lowest. If you want to sort by volume. There are other gadgets on here. So like this one on Don's platform, this showed up. So I think this is like some news or something like that. And if you do want to remove that, you just go delete gadget. For those who like playing Tetris, they have that on there also. So you just click on new game and then you can kind of play around with Tetris while you're waiting for your trade or whatever. So again, to delete and click on here. Another good one is this news one. It's this one. So like if you have a trade on Tesla, for example, and you want to know what news came up, this is the latest news stories which you can read about Tesla. Someone mentioned NVIDIA, so you can put that in there too and kind of read about news stories for them if you want. Okay, so I'll just delete that one again. So there is, if you look through here, there's a calculator on your dashboard. There's level 2 codes, so there's a lot of options on here. There's a notepad too if you want to take notes. So I'll just delete that. And then for those who like playing earnings trades, so when you see this symbol on here next to the stock symbol, you can click on it and it says earnings on February 21st, for example. This one, Amazon, so that's coming up tomorrow actually. So Yeah, so you can kind of see indicators there. And then to link this to the charts and stuff, if you click on this one and you can pick what number you want. So I'll just pick number 1. And then if you click on trade, you'll see this number 1. So these two are linked. So when you click on one of these, like the option chain will pop up with the charts. So that's how you link them on here. So you can pick whichever color you want to link and stuff. So it's a lot easier doing that instead of physically typing in like your different products and stuff. So that's how you do the linking. And then just for data feed connection, you can see that up here. And then because this is Don's account, he does have real-time feed for futures and stuff. So in Canada, our feed for futures are delayed 20 minutes, but Don's account, everything's live here. So I guess that is it for this kind of page. Does anyone have any specific questions about accounting for Watchlist or maybe playing Tetris on thinkorswim?
If anyone has any comments or questions throughout the talk, please just turn your mic on yourself. And we turned off the chat because for now anyway, because sometimes it gets distracted by it. So you have to turn on your mic.
Okay, so it sounds like there's no feedback, pretty straightforward for now. So we'll move on to the option chain. So again, I'll just click on SPY, for example. So this is the option chain, and if you do want to make the screen bigger, you can just click on this arrow here, just to minimize this portion of the screen, or you can physically drag this over. So this is the option chain, and you can see for SPY, there's a lot of different expiries and stuff you can pick. So if you do want to filter it, if you're specifically looking for, say, anything below 120 days, you can filter it here. And then that way you can only get those. So I'll just, does anyone have a preference for one of these chains? Or any preference for one of these products here, which you want to look at specifically for now?
Has anyone been trading today? They want to mention the what they've been trading.
NVIDIA.
Okay, so we can look at that. And which expiry would you like to choose from?
16th February.
16th, okay. So this is basically the option chain you see here. Sorry, I'll just scroll down. So for now, you can see bid ask last net change probability out of the money. If you do wanna change that, most people like seeing like delta theta, for example. If you click on this layout here and customize, so you can remove what you don't want on here. I'll just remove these things. Maybe that one you want to keep. So you can look at, you can add delta on here. So yeah, thinkorswim, like they have so many options here or whatever you want to pick. Maybe you want maybe you want this one. Maybe if you want to look at volume or open interest, we can add those. Okay. And then once you're done, you can sort these up and down as you like. Once you're done, you can press OK. So you can see all those got added up here: bid ask, probability, delta, theta. So we'll just pick a sample one. Let's just say if you're bullish on it and you just want to do a simple credit spread. So there's two different ways I know of doing. So the one way is if you right click, it shows you buy sell, and then you can click on, like, say if you want to sell guess most. So you can do straddle, strangle, vertical. So it pops up on here. And you can see it defaults to 10. So I don't recommend this. So I'll show you how to change this at 1, and then that way with it being defaulted to 10, it's really easy to screw that up. So you'd have to manually click on this to get it down to 1. And then you can change your width of these to whatever you like. And then you can see that the credit's changing as I do that. So the wider you go, the more credit you're getting. The other way, which I find easier, is if you click on what you want, and then if you hold the control key. So I have a Windows laptop, so it might be different on Mac, but if you hold the control key, you can click on like a bunch of them, whatever you want. So if I'm doing like a butterfly trade, I would just click on this one. Maybe something like that. So I find it easier just using the control key, but whatever your preference is. If you want to right click and do that, you can do that, or buy or whatever. So okay, so to change the default on this, if you click on this setup up here, and then application settings, and then on this one it's called order defaults. So you can see for stocks the default's 100. Options it's set at 10, so I recommend if you set that at 1, and then that way if you want to do 2-3 contracts, you can add that yourself instead of just defaulting. Is futures options, forex. So we'll just apply settings, and then if you click on this, you can see it defaulted to 1 now. So I'll just add this one. We'll select. Okay, so that's that one. And then once you're ready to submit this, if you click on this confirm and send, it pops up with this little window and I'll tell you what you're doing. The important thing to look just as a second check is if you look at this space, it says open. Sometimes if you're closing a trade or doing like a calendar, like rolling a trade, you might see like close to open. So it's important to look at this just as a second check before you hit this. Send it. It shows you your max profit, break even, max loss. Your trading fees would be included on here. And again, because this is an IRA, it looks slightly different, but on yours, you can check what it looks like. And then I'll just show you, so we did mention Amazon has earnings coming up. So for those who are interested in earnings, so first, if you see the symbol, you can click on it and it shows you earnings is, earnings is February 1st. The way you can kind of know is if you look at the option chain, you'll see that the implied volatility for this chain is a lot higher, like it's 114, and then it drops off. So you know there's something, you know that there's something, some kind of announcement or something, just if you look at this. And if you check on your, mostly if there's a significant event coming or whatever, you'll see this MMM thing. So this is basically saying that the market makers are expecting a plus or minus 10-point move in Amazon coming up. So just for example, it's not like a recommendation, but for those who kind of want to take a shot at earnings or whatever, Amazon's price is 155 right now. If you want to account for this 10-point difference, maybe if you want to have some buffer, maybe you can sell like credit spread or something, up to you. So maybe you had to look at the risk reward yourself, but this one, for example, it's 140 to 135 and you're collecting 37-cent credit, so that might not be worth it to someone if they're risking kind of $500 minus the credit, but for some, it might be worth it. Or if you want to kind of just set up Iron Condor, you can do that also. So if you go 10 points away, maybe if you want to do something like that. Now you're collecting 130. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can play it if you do, but that's what this MMM means on here. Okay, and the other thing I wanted to show you guys is if you wanted more information about this specific product. So if you click on here, you can see some option stats. So total volume of calls input sold today. It kind of has some IV information here. Some people like looking at these curves. So if you can just click on, like, say whichever one you're interested in. This will show you the kind of the curve here. So this is the out of money curve for Amazon for this specific expiry. So for those who kind of care about looking at this, it might help you trade. And if you can't see these options on here, if you click on this one, it might be checked off here. So depending if you want to see them or not, you can just check them on and off as you like. So that's that. So maybe we can set up a trade and then kind of show you what it looks like. So can someone give me one of these? Let's say you want to kind of set up a fake trade and just have a look at it.
Yeah, like a butterfly, and it,
Sure. And which one?
Amazon is fine.
Amazon. Okay. And we'll do, say we'll go out a bit more. So 44 days. We'll do. So we'll just set up a butterfly at the money. So maybe we'll do. So we'll just do a 10 wide one here. So this is a setup. So if you right click on it and then go analyze trade, this one here, it will take you to this risk profile. So it's under this analyze one. So I'm not sure why that didn't work properly, but
I think because it's iron condo, I guess.
oh, there. Okay, sorry, shows up. Yes, so in thinkorswim, it will show up as the iron condor window. It's a butterfly.
Oh.
But yeah, so if you, we'll just do that again. Delete this off here. Usually it is automatic and it just goes to that page, but I'm not sure why it didn't do that. Okay, so you right click on this one and then analyze. Yeah, okay, there. So it goes there right away.
Quick question here. A butterfly I know with 3 option legs and not 4 option legs.
So you can do butterflies different ways. So this is one way you can do it, where you're selling a put spread and a call spread.
But that's an iron condor. Even if you have the short at the same price, that's an iron condor. Because butterfly is either all calls or all puts.
Yeah. So yeah, we can have a look at that for sure. So the other way you can do it is if you click on this twice. So we're selling 2 of these, buying this and buying this one. Okay, so we'll add that one. And then we'll do the other one also. So we'll do on the call side and they'll be identical. Okay, so that is 165. Sorry, this one was. Sorry, I think some of these strikes are slightly different. So 155. So this one's fine. I think it was this one. Oh. This should be 155. Okay. Okay. So we'll just start looking at all of them. So we'll start with this iron condor first. So if you're selling the exact same shorts, it's pretty much an iron butterfly. But on toss, it does call it the iron condor. But you can see what the profile looks like here. So to calculate your break evens and stuff, so the expiry year is 15th March. So if you click on this button right here, so this shows you the expected move of that one. So this shaded area here you see is the expected move for that timeline based on this standard deviation move. If you want to use a two or three, you can change it on here. I just leave it at 1. And then if you want to see your break-even points and stuff, if you click on your set slices break-even. So basically what the platform is telling you right now is that the probability of you making 1 penny on this trade is 28.23%. Your max profit, if you look at this kind of corner here, so it's a blue one. So it's saying your max profit is 787. So pretty much 790 is the credit you collected. So that's your max profit. Your chance of losing on the downside is 35% about. Your chance of losing this way is 37. And this blue line is at expiry, and this purple line is today. So when I'm moving this, you can kind of see these numbers changing. So your max loss is 210, which makes sense because you're selling at 10 wide, you're collecting 790. Max loss is 210 on this side. And if you look at these other ones, more or less are pretty much the same. So instead of you selling, you're collecting. Sorry, instead of you selling and collecting a debit, you're basically paying a debit. But you can see, so I'll just unclick this, but you can see that they're all identical. So if you want to do put butterfly or call butterfly or iron condor, they're exactly the same. So the only difference is assignment. So depending on what stock you trade, like assignment risk would come into play, but otherwise they're identical. So you can see your max profit here is pretty much close to 790. Max loss is 210, 210. Your probabilities are pretty much the same. And then same with this call 1 year.
Well,
So you can see even this one. Max profit is 790, max loss 210. So the only reason for the little difference is because these are trading at different prices right now. If I do bump this up to the same 210 and lock this in, if I move this to 780, all of them will be identical. So you can see now the max loss is 210 for this one. This one's 210. And this one is also 210. Sorry, 220. So, and then if you just want to look at this purple line, you can see how, so if you want to change the days, if you click on this, you can see how this line raises up as time passes. And it's pushing your break-even points wider. And you can see, like, say on February 29th, if the price was here, for example, you'd be up the 110, which is this purple number here. So
I think Robert had a question.
yeah, go ahead.
Robert? You were going to say something, Robert.
sorry, no, it was a mistake.
Pretty please.
Okay, I guess not.
So that is pretty much this one. I'll just set up another one. If you want to delete all of these, you can just go delete simulated trades and it disappears here. If you do have open positions, you can look at them in the Analyze tab, like live, and it'll show you because there's no open positions on this account, you can't do that. But it's pretty much the same process. You would click on whichever trade you have on, and then it'd pop up on here, and you could see day by day what it is. So I'll just set up a different trade on here to show you. So maybe if we can do maybe if we can do a straddle, sorry, a strangle. So we'll just sell the 16 delta on this side and 16 on here. So again, you would right click on here and then go analyze trade. And that is what it looks like. And then you change this to 15th March. So you can see, because this is wider, this shaded area is the one standard deviation move that the platform's predicting. So this strangle is outside of that right now. So your break-even points are 457 and 508. So they're pretty much the strike you sold plus the credit. So you sold the 505 call, so you added a bit to it, and more or less it's about here. Sometimes it includes commission fees, sometimes it doesn't, so that's why it's slightly different. And then on the bottom side, it's 461 minus this credit. So the platform's telling you have a 91% chance as of today. Oh, sorry, I had this go to today. There, that makes more sense. Okay, so you have a 69% chance of winning on this trade as of February 1st. And again, if you change this, you can see how the line goes up. And if you want to make this bigger or zoom in, if you just click on the number and hold your mouse, and then you can just pull it over. And then you can just click on the page and kind of recenter it and stuff. So that is how you set that up. And if you're happy with what it looks like, if you want to actually execute this trade, you direct click on it and then go create duplicate order. You can do confirm and send. I prefer doing it this way. And then your order comes up here. Oops, sorry. Got rid of that. It basically takes you to this window. You can just click on the window again and then go confirm send, and then you can kind of look at your details. And again, if you check this open, so in case if you're closing a strangle and opening a new one as one order, you might see close, open, but it's a nice way to second check just in case. So is there any questions about this specifically, or we can move on to charts after?
I had a comment if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
In setting up the trade, you might want to point out.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You might want to point out on the trade window where you have the option chain, and then on this particular one, and then it says spread single.
Yeah.
Up at the top, and if you hit that, if you drop that thing down, and you want to do a butterfly, then you go down. You can set up a butterfly this way, and then adjust the prices.
Yes. Yeah.
And click on whichever one you want. It'll set up an iron condor. It'll set up a butterfly. It'll set up. Well, you can see the list, but
yes,
it just might be, somebody might want to know that feature is there instead of clicking on the different strike prices.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't personally use this. I know it was there, but I don't really use it. I'm just used to kind of clicking the individual strikes and just But yeah, no, it's good to know for sure.
Similarly, can I make a comment?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, if you right click on any one of the options.
Yeah.
Then go down to analyze. And then you have the option of either buying or selling a
Yeah,
butterfly,
okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
and then arrange the prices, the strikes.
okay. Good to know. Okay, you guys are teaching me all these tricks and I'm losing thinkorswim soon, so yeah, okay. I guess the other thing I can mention on here, I know this is an IRA account, so it's different, but when you're analyzing a trade, on here you'll see the buying power. So in your normal margin accounts and stuff, it'll be very different. But on here, you can see for this specific trade, it's going to reserve for about that much. If you want to change this to something else, for example. You can, yeah, I guess it doesn't change too much, but yeah. Okay, so we'll just move on to charts now.
So has anyone had any problems with order placement, or, I mean, Rahim has gone over how to place an order for a butterfly and an iron condor. Has anyone had any other type of order they wanted to place and had problems or anything like that?
Rahim, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Rahim, can I be
Yes.
heard?
Yes, yeah,
Okay, you have a confirm and send window, and mine
Yes.
looks just like yours.
okay,
And usually the to open, to close
yes,
goes off the edge of my screen. And
yes.
don't know of any way to reset this, except each time I'm in that situation to widen the order confirmation dialog screen. Do you have any access to a setting that changes that?
I don't have access to change that, but usually what
Okay,
I do
thank you.
is I could just show you a sample one. Just to explain what he's talking about. So usually what I do is I just hold your mouse on here. And if you're doing like usually it's 4 legs you're doing, you can clearly see like to open, to open, to open, to open.
Okay, that's quicker than trying to widen the
Yeah, so
screen.
even
Thank you.
if you do move this, it's still kind of, I guess it makes it easier to read, but if you just put your cursor on there, you can see that. So
Okay,
yeah,
thank you. That's
that's usually
useful.
what I do. Yes, yeah. Okay. So we'll just move on to charts now. So maybe if someone mentioned AMD, so maybe if you want to have a look at that. So again, you just click on charts at the top here. You can click on here to minimize. And again, these are linked with the ones. So when you click on a different one, chart pops up here. So this is just a sample chart I put up. So let me just clear all this stuff off. Okay. So this is kind of a normal chart you would see. And then if you do want to add some studies on here, if you click on this one here, sorry, this is chart setting. So for some of you who like to kind of draw on there, if you want more room on here, if you go to time axis here, you can pick how many bars to the right you want. So say if you want maybe 30 daily chart days on there, if you click on apply, you'll see that you have this nice spot on here where you can kind of draw stuff. So if you click on drawings here, there's a bunch of tools and stuff here. So maybe if you just want to draw some kind of like support line or something, you can, oops, sorry, you click on it, left click, and then draw it wherever you want. and then click. And maybe this is kind of like your line in the sand. If the price drops below here, maybe you're going to get out. So it's nice to have this extra space on the charts here if you want. If you want to add a bunch of studies, if you click on this one, you can add studies here, or I just do it this way. So there's a lot of different ones, but I think moving averages is pretty common. Sorry, I think it might be called simple. Yeah, it's a simple moving average. You can add that one. So you just click on add selected, so that one's here. Maybe you want to add RSI, for example. You can add that, and maybe if you want to add Bollinger Bands, for example. So you can add a lot of different ones on here. So you can see
Looks
that
like
these...
Britta has a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Britta, did you have a question?
No, I'm not now. At
Okay,
the end,
later.
I probably gonna ask a few more questions.
Okay, later. Go
For
ahead.
sure.
Sorry, Rahim, go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So you can see that this is the RSI here at the bottom of the chart. This is kind of the default values, 30, 70, your Bollinger Bands, or there's a moving average. If you want to change any of those settings, you can just click on studies again, edit study, and then these pop up. So if you have specific numbers you want to use, for these, maybe if you want to use 80 as overbought and 20, you can do that. If you want to add more line, more duration, you can change the colors on here. Yeah, so you can pick different colors and stuff on here, and once you're happy, you can press OK. Same thing with this simple moving average. If you want to change it to a 200-day, you can change that here. You can change the color to a different one if you like. So that is your different one here. So this red one's your moving average. These are your Bollinger Bands. You can see the difference here. And if you're happy with this as your template, so I'll just pull up a different one, for example. So I'll click on Apple. Oops, doesn't like Apple, I guess. Sorry, I'll click on NVIDIA. So it shows you, it kind of saved the settings here, exactly the same as we had it before.
Apple is AAPL. You have a typo.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so it does save your settings and stuff from before. And then for those of you, I know some of you kind of look at the indexes in the morning, so we can set up a few more. So if you click on this button here, you can kind of do a grid view. So maybe if you want to pick 4 of them, for example, and I'll just make this. So for those who kind of like watching the main indexes in the morning, you can set this up as SPY. Maybe the Qs you can do on your IWM and DIA. And then in the morning when you're kind of trading and stuff, if you want a quick glance at where the market is, you can have a look at like all the 4 charts at the same time. And you can see this first one, it kind of saved our settings. These ones are plain. It doesn't have your moving average, Bollinger Bands, RSI. So if you do want them set up, if you really like this one and you want this as the default one, you can set it up that way. So I'll show you in a minute. If you want to make this bigger, you just click on these 3 dots and then maximize cell. And then you can have this bigger. If you want to remove this empty space for now, you just click on, I think it was these settings again, and then time axis, and you can remove these. So that's gone. And if you want this volume as a separate one and not overlaid on there, you can do that on here also. So first you have to make sure that these two under general are checked, and then on options, there's one here, show volume subgraph. So if you check these off, okay, and then you see there's a separate graph here for volume. And if you want to kind of reorganize these, if you click on edit study, I believe, you can just click on this up, and then I think that should work. Yeah. Okay. And then our side disappeared, so we can add that back on. Oh, it's here. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can play around with that, I guess, but I think it's, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's kind of two separate here, volume and then RSI. So again, if you really like this setting, you can click on this one, style, and then set chart default. And then it pops up saying, are you sure? You click on yes here. And then when you click on another one, it should have saved here. And any lines or anything you draw, it does remember it. So if you come back later, you can see this one doesn't have it, but on, I think it was this one, we drew this kind of line here. So it does remember what you did. So it does save that. And then if you click on this, so this is kind of the grid view we had. And you can see that this one has the studies included. These are still the same ones. So I didn't remember, but if you just type this in again and hit enter. Oh, sorry, I think I had to do that again. Okay, so if I click on this, yeah, so once it's empty, so you can use SPY again. And then when you put this back in, it should, so it has all the studies which you had before, which you saved as a default. So this is a nice way kind of in the morning when you're first kind of open your computer to see where the main indexes are. You can use futures on here, up to you. And if you do want to save this grid layout like this, you'd click on, I think it was one of these. So again, on this grid, you could click on save grid as, and then just call it a name like indexes. Index ETF. Okay. And then I'll just click on something else, for example. So to go back to that layout, and you can do like multiple grids. You can do like 9 by 9, up to you completely. To go back to that one we made, you just click on this index one, and then it pops up here. And then that one which we drew a line on, just in case if you want to remove it, you click on this drawing tools, you click on this point here, and then just click on it and just press delete, and it disappears. So, just anything else on charts you guys wanted to look at? It does show you earnings here. And just to get the time frame, if you want to go back longer, you just click on this, like 1 year, for example. So all these kind of symbols are when earnings came up on this specific stock. If you click on SPY, for example, you wouldn't see any earnings. So.
You can save study sets and drawing sets. And when you have study sets together, you can actually do one of those charts that grid charts that you just showed. 1x2, you do have possibly a different steady set for short term and long term. Just if you do 1x2, one is like a 5-year setup with a with a long-term steady set, and then on the left-hand side you do a shorter term steady set with that. Then when you are there, you can easy click just with the left and the right button if you have one cell maximize, and it switches so nicely fast through it. It's pretty nice. Also for drawing sets, I organize mine in a way that I have drawing sets based on a purpose, and trades, or also where I document trades. I do a lot of covered calls, so I just draw my short calls on the set, but the analysis of a stock is a different set of things. I don't want to have that mixed up, so I sort it that way. Makes it pretty easy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this one, this time frame is set for 1 year daily, and just for example, this one right now is set for 5 minutes. So yeah, you can set up different time frames for the same to current stuff. So yeah, it's lots of different options for this one.
The other good thing is you can share that stuff with your friends and trading buddies, and they can import it into their part. It's very convenient.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just move on to backtesting now, which is one of my favorite things. Sorry. So just over the years, I have spent like honestly over 500 hours backtesting various things from Tasty trades to John Lochte trades. I used Option View before, and then they went out of business. Recently, I've been using Option One. thinkorswim also has some 2 backtesting things you can use, which most people don't know. So I'll just walk you through quickly based on that. And then, yeah, we can open it up to questions and stuff. So, so the first way is if you click on Analyze here, I'll just make this bigger for you guys. So if you click on this Analyze tab, and then this one which says Think Back, so this uses end of day data. So for those who don't like using end of day, there's a different way you can do that. So if someone could just give me a symbol they wanted to look at, and then a date, which I can rewind this back to.
SBIO.
SPIO.
B as in boy.
SPIO. Okay. And what date would you like?
December to the present.
December 11th, okay?
Fine.
Okay. Okay, so where'd it go? SPIO. Okay. So basically we went, I'll just change it again. So we went back to December 14th, and that day you can see SPIO is last price was 30.4. This is how much it was up for the day. So we'll just pick like a sample trade. So what trade would you like to put on SPIO on that date?
Anything you want.
Okay,
You take it from here.
so there's not too many prices on here, which is a problem. Yeah, maybe if we can pick something more liquid, because most of these are showing zeros.
Let's try SPX.
SPUX,
No,
Starbucks.
SPX.
Oh,
S&P 500 options.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, there. That'll be easier. Okay, I'll just pick the same one. So the price was 4.7 something. We'll just say you're bullish on it and it's at 4.700. So you sold a credit spread on it. So that is the credit spread on that date. So you can see that we're selling 4,700 buying this. So it's $5 wide. We're collecting 150. You can see that there's no profit and stuff. So this is on the specific date. And then if we fast forward by a few days. This isn't working too good. Sorry, maybe I'll just use SPY actually. Seems to work better. Yeah, I think sometimes SPX and stuff, it does give me problems when I was checking it, but this one should work better though. Yeah, so it's not like perfect, but depending on what you're checking, it's a nice option to have, I guess. Okay, so we'll try that again. So we're selling this put spread, and if you just keep an eye on this P&L open. So you can see we fast forwarded a few days. It's up $30 here. And this was the date, so 14th. So if we change this to the same date, we can see what happens. So the price is at 470 right there, and it's at 472. And then if we fast forward a few more days to 27th, it's up $62. So it's kind of manual work yet to do. If you keep this option chain closed, it does go a bit faster. So you can see it's 475. Here's what much you're up. And then we'll just take it close to expiry, which was 19th January, just to see what happened to it. So you can see on that day it was 475 and you're almost at max profit. And then just graphically, if you click on this underline graph here, this one's a bit hard to see. So you kind of had to play around with this, but I think if you left click and zoom in, you can kind of see it better. So this really faint yellow line is your P&L for this trade, and you can see how it changed on the different days as the trade went through its cycle. And then this is obviously at the expiry. So you can see when you first started it, this is the profit here. It pretty much went up to about $50, came down, and then it went up, came down, and then after the price took off and it started making profit. So again, this uses end of day. You can kind of test simple stuff. So that is how you use that. And then the other way.
So it doesn't have any intraday pricing, right?
So if you do want intraday, it does slow down your computer quite a bit, but we can try that for sure. So this is again end of day. So if you want to go back to that risk profile, you just click out of this. So the other way is if you click on this on demand. So basically it opens up kind of like a fake account on your thing. There'll be a pop-up coming up saying this is kind of fake. It's just for practice and stuff. So this is the fun one to play with. So I'll just reset all these. So you can see Don has a lot of money in this account now. So we'll go back in time to, say we'll go back to October 5th. You can pick your specific time. So this is based on my time. So this is pretty much half an hour before a market close. You can see on here, it'll say pre-buffering. So this does kind of slow down your computer, but if you do want kind of intraday data, you can do that.
Okay.
And then we'll just set up a few fake trades, and then I can finish off showing some beta weighting and stuff, and then yeah.
Steve, did you have a question? I guess not.
Okay, so it's basically live. You can see on demand here. These are the current prices as of that date. You can see that the second's changing as we're going, and these prices are changing and stuff. So we'll just pick the queues, for example, trade. It does take a while to load up. We'll just take a fake trade in here. So it's about 360. So I'll just make a few fake trades on here. So we'll sell this one. So again, you see the open. You hit send. That sound is good. So we have a trade in our account now. So it shows your queues. You can see filled order here. We'll take a bearish trade in Apple, for example. We'll just pick a longer expiry. Sell this one. You can see open here again. Maybe we'll do a spread in Amazon. So I'm just setting up a few like fake trades so you can see this says to open to open. Maybe one more. Maybe this one will do a really short one, and we'll do maybe we'll do a butterfly trade in here. So this one again, if you click it, it pops up and you can kind of see it says open, open, open. So it's 4 legs. Okay, so we have our trades on here, and you can see it's saying P&L for the day $3. Not much. So if we fast forward this for a week, so you can see it says pre-buffering again. And you can pause this at any time. You can kind of fast forward a few, but again, this does slow down. When you're doing that, you should just not be on this option chain and just be on this page, so it doesn't have to load up the option chain as you're doing this. So it does go a bit faster. So you can see on demand, it's going. So I'll just pause it. So you can see just from those few trades, P&L open, we're up 776. So that's not bad. And then if you want to beta weight this, so I'll just change some of these columns here. So to change the columns, if you click on this, you can remove some of these, which you might not want. Maybe you want gamma for those who care about that. Maybe you want beta. So you can see these are the columns, delta, theta, gamma, vega. If you wanted to set up a closing order for one of these, you would right click, create closing order. You can set that up. We'll just put a really high price on here, just for fun. Oops, oh, got filled. Oh well. So to beta weight, so right now you have multiple options. So you can see that the delta of this is 25 about. So if you want to beta weight this, so it's an apples to apples comparison. So you can beta weight to anything you want. So we'll put SPY, and you can see this changed. So basically this is taking your position in Amazon Q's SPY and converting it to how many deltas in SPY do you have. So if I unclick this, you can see it's 24.8. If I click it, it's 21. And just for some context for that, if you look at SPY, it's 435. So we can go, so you're 21 shares long. So basically you're long 9,000 and your account size right now is about that much. So maybe you're about 10% long at this point. And again, you can beta weight to the queues, whatever you like, depending what you kind of want.
So the point of beta weighting is if you have a number of stocks, you want to have realistic proportions of each of them in a portfolio?
Yeah, so like this one when we did even the queues, like it's not that different because of the correlation, but let's say if we want to beta weight to Apple, for example, so you can see how different it is. So for someone who's trying to stay delta neutral, you can see your long 21 shares in SPY. SPY is about 435, so that's about $9,000, and you can see your account size is like 100. So if we just kind of do some rough math, so you're basically like 10% directional at this point. So depending what value you want to be at, you can kind of add in minus trades and stuff. Let me just try closing this one. Just want to put a really high price on here so it doesn't get filled. Oh, just keep getting filled. I'm not sure why they keep getting filled, but you can play around with these. But usually they'll show up on here as working orders. And then you can see they're good for cancel and stuff. And then just for some history, if you want to have a look, like Apple got closed by mistake. If you this one's open, if you right click on it, you can go view trades, and it gives you a readout of the history of this. So you bought this on October 5th. This is what you paid for it. This is the cost. This is how much you're up.
That's what
Oh,
we sold it
'cause-
for, what we sold it for. That is a
Yeah,
short trade.
I think I had to
And-
put lower prices actually.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that.
So this, what trade was this? Naked put. This is a naked put.
So if you put 5 cents, it shouldn't fill.
Yeah, so here it says to close. Okay. Okay, so you can see your orders in here. This says it's good for the day. If you do want to change your order, if you right click on it, you can go cancel replace. And you can change this to good for the day. And again, if you click here, it says to close. And then this will just kind of sit here. And then you can cycle to a different day if you want here and kind of see how things change. So this is some kind of back testing minute by minute or second by second if you want. And it's just an example. But yeah, so I find this beta waiting feature really helpful, especially when you have a live account with multiple positions and stuff. It's nice to kind of see, and then based on how SPY or Qs move that day, just high level, you don't need to check your count much. You kind of know if SPY is up a lot based on what your delta is. You'd more or less be up that kind of money. So yeah, so that is the on-demand one. And then once you're done, so we're up 831. Once you're done, you just click on this again. And then it will take you back to the live data where it says connected here, and then your account balance is back to
So what's the
7
difference
cents.
again between the live day, between the on-demand and the other form of backtesting?
So on demand is second by second,
Ah,
and it is a lot slower, but you can kind of set up fake trades, and it's almost kind of like paper trading, but you can go back and do stuff. Whereas think back is end of day data, but you can only analyze one
okay.
specific trade at a time. So the way I did it on demand is I just set up a few fake trades in your account and just kind of saw. And even, sorry, when you go on demand, if you click on the chart, it does go back in time too. I forgot to show you that. So let me just try getting back in again. So I'll go back to 17th, and if you click on the Qs, for example, it does take you back in time. So this is October 17th about. And if you fast forward this for a week, you will see this change. So you can kind of practice trades too. So you can see now it kind of changed. So if there's a specific trade you want to look at based on charting, you can kind of go back in time, look at your indicators, set up a fake trade, and then kind of forward and see what the chart does and stuff. So the on-demand does give you like more features that way. But again, it is pretty slow. Like on a decent computer, it does take some time.
So would you use this to develop a strategy, or would you use it to check how your trade did? Or how would you make use of these backtest capabilities?
So before, when I didn't really have access to OptionView or OptionNet, most of us have access to thinkorswim, and it is free, like, to use this. So like for really simple ones like strangles, credit spreads, even John Lochtey's Super Bowl trade, I backtested that using this. So I did go back in time and kind of set up his Super Bowl trades month by month, and that one's easier to check because you're basically putting it on and then checking it like a month later if it's up or down. And then you're checking day by day. Stuff like strangles you could set up and check if they hit your profit target and stuff. So yeah, depending what trades you're interested in.
And how did you find it compared to using OptionView or One?
So OptionView, I know they're out of business, but I really didn't like that because depending on what day you're checking, the same test results would be completely off. Like you'd get different numbers and stuff. And because my background's an engineer, I got really frustrated with that, saying I'm using the same computer, same software, it's on the actual same day, just a minute apart, and I'm getting different values. So that one I really didn't like. OptionNet I do like, but it's kind of pricey, and yeah, but thinkorswim, like, you have access to it, part of your trading platform, it's available. And I did do a comparison of John Lochtey's Super Bowl trade on thinkorswim backtesting versus what he had in his notes from OptionNet, and more or less after like 120 trades, like the P&Ls are pretty similar. So I did post those results on his website. And time-wise, like thinkorswim's a bit slower, but again, like you don't have to pay for it. So
It's a bit slower, but otherwise you found it adequate.
yeah, if you're doing like simple trades, like if you're checking like a credit spread or strangle or bull call spread or debit spread, maybe just a butterfly without any adjustments, like it's just as good. Pretty
And could
much.
you run it, like, say, over 5 years?
Yeah, so I think the on-demand might go back 10 years, I think,
Okay.
or maybe a bit more, and think back does go back a bit further, maybe 15 years or so.
Oh,
But yeah, again, like how John Lochtey mentions, is if you're backtesting, you should kind of do hour before market close or half an hour, because sometimes you do get some bad numbers end of day. So when I can, I prefer using the on-demand one. So, but yeah, it kind of just gives you some idea. Like, it's not perfect, but like it might be like 80% accurate, 85%. So that's kind of good enough to tell you, yes, this is a strategy to consider or not. So
The other
does
thing,
anyone make, oh, go ahead, Frida.
the other thing to consider to use on demand and pay the price on the speed is when you go at ThinkBack, it's basically end of day, but in reality a second after market close, in which case the bid and ask price are widening for some parts pretty drastically. And
yes,
that has impact when you backtest. You really want some good
yes,
data. A dollar-wide spread between the bid and the ask on an option really isn't doing me any good.
yes. Yeah, and most of the products, like when I was testing, back testing, it'd be like the indexes like SPY or the Qs and stuff, and those are always really liquid. But yeah, if you're looking at some other stocks, like maybe using ThinkBack wouldn't be the best. Like this one, you can see like this is after hours, like end of day, and you can see that they're still penny wide. But sorry, this is AMD. Oh, sorry, SPY. Okay, so if I put in something else here, yeah, you like you mentioned, you would see a bunch of zeros sometimes, or really wide bid-ask spreads and stuff. So, like I know the sector ETF's really bad for that. Yeah, so like on here, for example, this price is at 84 for XLE, and you can see how wide some of these are when you get further out. Like this, yeah. So yeah, depending what you're kind of checking and stuff. So yeah, like I know during the day they're not wide like this, but end of day does give you some wrong values and stuff. So
Does
Yeah.
it rigidly enforce, like when it tests, does it assume those spreads are always valid?
I
guess-
have had issues sometimes where you're kind of testing something and then it doesn't work because it doesn't have a bidder ask later on. So again, that's what I was saying, kind of like 80% it's accurate, but it's not like 100%, right? Like even on option net, sometimes for option view, they were missing strikes and values sometimes. And then you'd have to press some kind of key to kind of get it to fill in some prices for you and stuff. So again, it's not perfect, but it's a start at least.
RIP option view, it's dead now.
Yes. Yeah, I was actually trying to get an account with them after I lost OptionNet, and then and then I learned that they actually went out of business, so that's when I started using thinkorswim on demand actually. So
Huh.
yeah, just I was interested in the Super Bowl and backtesting it, and I was like, well, I need something to backtest to it. So yeah, just funny timing. Yeah, that is pretty much all I had for you guys. I can open up to questions and stuff. So
Okay, question.
yeah, go ahead.
Do you use a theoretical option price calculator on the option chain?
Sorry,
That is the extra column you need to add. If you add extra column in that, it will show you. Yeah. Theo price. Yeah.
oh, this one.
We cannot guess implied volatility, but at least we can guess by ticker moves in 10
Sorry, I'll
points in
just
that same
remove
direction.
some
It
of
can.
these here. So I don't personally use this column, but it kind of looks like it's in between like the mid price pretty much.
Yeah, it's like $2. It went up. Assume you can gauge how much it would be. Like if you're placing a profit target order, we can use.
Yeah, because the bid,
Yes.
I don't know, these are very liquid instruments, but you might find the bid and ask are very biased or very wide, whereas theoretical price would give you an indicator of which price is off. Is that how you use it?
You use the CO price to do trades basically out of option, out of undervaluing stock price. So let's assume you wanna do a directional long call or short put and stuff, and you wanna base it off of a target price, and you wanna put the trade in 2 days from now. That's how you would be using it and doing it. So in order to set that up, click on the CO price in the top, which is to the right of the probability out of the money delta CO price, that drop down. No, I want a form coming up where we change dates and prices.
This one?
Yeah, click on that one. Okay, so this is today. If the stock price, let's goes up $2 on that stock, and it does that by tomorrow morning, by tomorrow on Monday. Pick something. So you can see what the option price is now on the CO price part. So if we take the March 24th option on Monday with a $2 price increase, the CO price for the $300 still stays at $16 on the long call, for example, which is the middle column. Bid and ask is 16 to 16.35 now. On a stock like that, I probably would put $10 in to see what happens if we are up $10 on Monday.
Couldn't you just look $10 up on the strikes and do it that way? Or $10 down on the, in other words, if you're looking, anyway, that's a detailed question. That's good. That's
So
good.
if you go to the March 15th 300 call side to the left, the price of that option would be $20.33.
Oh, I see.
Give slippage. You can now adjust volatility to it if you think you know what volatility does and stuff. So it's like you calculate a price based on your theory what the stock is going to do.
Okay.
Good. That's good.
I do use that, yes.
So what type? Okay, that's good.
Okay. Okay, so just for those, you basically go customize, you'd add into your price here. And then you'd click on this and you can change.
Yeah, it's like in Think Back how you were calculating it, right? So you're going back here, this is going forward, and how much you would set for your profit target orders.
Okay.
Or even you want to buying in the day, if it is going to $2, I know you can subtract by delta, just simple math, or else we can adjust by this and get around that and place long call or long short put orders.
So who has some other major themes or comments? Who else does backtesting? Or questions for Rahim?
Maybe one comment. You should write in the beginning for privacy to hide net liquidity and that kind of stuff. It also, if you put the privacy mode on, it confiscates and obfuscates your account number. Right now, everybody, including the recording, has the account number.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's 7 cents in there, so.
So be careful when you share a screen with somebody else, have that thing on, or use a paper money account.
Yeah, just for anyone's information, there is nothing in the account. It's an old account. I withdrew it down. So having the account number won't do them any good, but.
Yeah, so the issue
we will all deposit $1,000 into Ron's account.
Yeah. So the issue with paper trading is I believe ThinkBack works, but on demand does not work with paper trading. So that's why Don had to set me up with his account. So
that's correct, yes.
Yeah.
There's probably one other good thing, and now it would be actually good to have a paper money account. In your position page, and I use that extensively, you can create groups of trades. So if you want to have all your covered calls in one trade, all your verticals in one group together, all butterflies are in condas, you can nicely put them into groups. You know exactly what you're looking at instead of just the tickers, and then you try to figure out what did I do here.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
So Britta, did you have any other mention you want to make or questions you want to make, observations?
That's kind of what was coming to mind.
I mean, we could talk some more. And
I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
If you can show ask how to do the stop
Yeah.
on a trade.
Sure. Just 1 second.
Thank you.
So basically you would click on your watch list here again. So we can use Apple, for example. And then on the trade page, if you click on the bid, it sells, click on the asset buys. So you can do a stock that way. Again, it defaults to 100 shares. You can physically type in what you want here. If you want to do a covered call, there's a few different ways where you can do it, but you can even just right click on it and then go think on your it's buy covered call, buy covered stocks. You can do that. So yeah, so basically to buy or sell a stock, you're just clicking on the buy or the sell here. So
You just click on the bid or the ask.
yes, yeah.
Now,
So
how to
it's-
put a stop? Like, how do you put a stop
Okay, she
loss?
wants to put a stop loss.
Stop loss.
a stop loss on a trade. So most people don't recommend using actual stop loss on option trade. They prefer if you just kind of do a mental thing and then close it out on your own.
Okay.
Instead of doing that. I have used stop losses before, like when I first started, and sometimes some market makers would just kind of stop you out even though you weren't supposed to get stopped out because of the way they set up the bid asks on spreads and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I think
you
their
really shouldn't use them.
recommendation from most people is just to physically write down your own stop loss down, and then when it does reach that price,
Okay.
you could do that. So basically, how I showed, if you have actual trade on, I can just click on demand for a second. I'll just take a minute or so to load up here. Just send up a fake trade on here. Okay, so we had this trade on right now, Apple. Okay, I'll do this properly. So we sold this for 430. So if you right click on your create closing order. Okay, so you can see that this order is right here. So you can see, so this is really nice about thinkorswim, and IB doesn't have this, but you can see what you want to close this at. This is the current price for it. So IB does not have this feature here. You have to kind of physically check what the price is here, but we'll just fast forward a few days and you can see what this mark is. So mark is pretty much what it's trading at, and I think it keeps the orders on here. But again, on live, it might be slightly different, but it's kind of the same method you can use.
What kind of stop did you want to place, Nancy? What kind of
Say,
position did you have that you wanted to trade out of?
Just anything, like just to show how it's set up. So maybe if a spread goes 1.5 times stop of the credit. So if you got
You could do
Yeah, so-
it, there's different things you could do. You could do it close only,
mhm.
right? You could do it as an alert, right?
Yeah, so I
Right.
think the easiest way is if you're even on the app for like on the phone, on the thinkorswim app, you can see your order here. You just put this good to cancel, for example. So you'd set up like your profit order to close this, but you can see right now with the mid prices, and when it's getting closer to your value of $1.20 or whatever, you can physically come and close it instead of using a stop loss.
Okay.
So I think most people recommend doing it that way instead of physically setting up a stop loss. And you can also do an alert. So if you click on, I believe it was this one. I think on live it's easier actually. Yeah, I don't think you can do it on here, but on the live account, if you right click, there'll be one where it says alert on here, or you can do on here actually.
You can chart the option, and then from the, at least the way I
Oh,
do that,
actually, it's
chart the option, and then go into the chart and create alert, and then you can put alerts in based on
Yeah.
the options. I just did that the other day.
actually here.
So you're doing it
when-
off the chart.
So when you're on the live mode, if you right click on this, it pops up here, create alert. So you can create your alert that way. So you can put your price here, you can put your note here, pay attention or something.
And change the symbol to the option code.
Yeah.
If you want to do
Yeah.
that for the option.
So this is just for the stock, for example.
Yeah.
So if you click on market watch alerts, you'll see it here. And if you want to do it on the actual option, which you're interested in. So I think you need to be in live mode to do that. I think you right click here and then go create alert. And then you can change this for $1.60, for example, and you can say profit hit or something like that. And then you can see that under market watch, so you can see your alerts here. So once you have a live trade on under monitor, you'd set up a closing trade for your profit order, and then you can right click and just set alert that way too. So, and then you can see your alerts on your phone too. So yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this is your current notes. So this is the current price it's trading at, and this is your alert. So once this number is below 160, it'd send you alert. So
You can also create a stop loss order and condition it to the underlying.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
set a condition for the underlying, and then that will activate the order for the option.
yeah, Robert, I think that personally, I think that's the best way to do it. Place stops on the base of the underlying.
Yeah, so for me personally, because I'm trading options, I usually always have a profit order good to cancel in there. And then kind of once a day, I'll just glance at what it is. And if it's going the opposite way, I know I'm looking at the loss, and then I might have a stop loss like written on my phone or somewhere. And once it gets there, I'll physically just come cancel that order and then put in my stop loss thing and get out of the trades. So
Who's got another question or comment?
Got several little ideas here and there in the presentation, and I appreciate that.
Any other comments? Thank you, Mike, for your contribution. Did you have a, okay.
Do you ever use OCBO orders on these option spreads? Based on your answer, stop losses. I don't know whether you would prefer to use OCBO orders. One cancels the other order, like if you meet a certain profit target, you will sell it, or otherwise come out with that loss.
yeah, so I don't personally use those. Like again, when I set up a trade, as soon as it's filled, I'll put in a closing order for my profit target, and then I physically just kind of check it once a day. And then if I need to get out, I'll just cancel that profit target, put in my order to exit at whatever 50% loss or something, and just manually do that. But yeah, there's a lot of options where you can do one cancel, other, and stuff like that. So
Okay, who's got another comment or question? Okay, Rahim, any final comments or whatever?
No, it's good. Yeah, and I'm glad I got this chance to do this before I kind of lose my access for thinkorswim. So yeah, I will miss the platform for sure because there's so many neat things you can do, and even some of them like the extra columns for charts and stuff where I just kind of learned that recently, and yeah, but now I'm sad to lose that. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully TD active trader's not too bad. So
Okay, well, I guess we'll just thank Rahim very much for putting so much time into the presentation, and thank all the people who contributed comments and their own experiences. And we'll call it a day. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right.